you. A petition launched by the website Conservative Post to return Boris Johnson to number 10 has received 10,000 signatures.
Yep, and some of Liz Truss's MPs, including the former Culture Secretary Nadine Dorries, say that they really would like him to come back. Of course, he only left 6 weeks ago. But let's just refresh our memories of the man who was PM.
I'll be with you in a second.
Yeah, I have an earpiece here in my hands, ready to go. Right, he's been taken inside, into the freezer.
We got Brexit done. Let's keep Brexit done. In which the NHS has saved my life, no question. Those were meetings of people at work, talking about work. Let me say immediately that I've paid the fine and I once again offer a full apology. Mission largely accomplished. For now, I want to thank everybody here and hasta la vista, baby. Thank you.
So, do those agitating for Boris round 2 have a point? Does Boris Johnson deserve a second chance? Well, joining us now to discuss this is former Special Advisor to Theresa May, Nero Ugwajabo, who says it would be a massive mistake, and former Tory MEP David Campbell-Bannerman, who thinks that Boris is the only credible, his word, credible alternative. Well, look, let's start with you. I mean, Partygate, Pinchergate, let's be frank, what many people describe as Liargate. I mean, is credible the right word of choice? I mean, maybe colourful, but credible?
Well, I mean, Boris delivered Brexit. You know, he's very popular still amongst members. 2/3 of members would have him back. And all the polls show that the public still like Boris. I think he's a great asset to the party. I should say I do support Liz Truss, but if MPs get rid of her, which they're trying to do, some of those, then Boris is the only alternative. You know, we can't have another new face coming at this stage. It would look like a complete joke.
But wouldn't it look really strange to have a Prime Minister who'd been booted out come back maybe
by
7
who?
weeks later?
But you see, he's never been voted out by the members. I wanted a Boris ballot. I argued for that through Conservative Post. But, you know, and he's not been booted out by the public. There is still an enormous amount of support for him. Even after Partygate, months of going at him, we're only 3 or 4% behind in the polls at that stage. Now we're 30+ behind in the polls.
36 this morning.
36, it gets worse. So, you look, Boris is a great electoral asset. As I say, I do support Liz, but if they push her out, which seems to be going on at the moment, then we have to have Boris back.
Nero, let's get Boris out of the fridge. Let's warm him up again and let's put him back in place instead of the ghost who is currently in the position of Prime Minister in number 10. What do you think?
So I think there's a kind of a cult of personality building up around Boris, and it's not surprising because he is a charismatic character. But that's a solution to an old problem. The situation we face now is significantly different, and I don't think going back to Boris is what's going to solve that problem. The sort of crisis that people are facing in terms of cost of living does not require us to go back to that narrative. Some of the people have said that what we need right now is stability, not soap opera. I think going back there would take us right back to soap opera.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing, but do you wish you hadn't got rid of him now?
Well, I don't think so. I think the challenges that we were facing during the Boris administration were quite significant as well. And I think people saw so much problems, so many scandals, are not real focus on the issues that they were facing.
But did Pinchergate and Partygate and, as I said, Liargate, does it really compare to what's happened now?
Well, it may not compare, but you're talking about problems upon problems, and what we need is real solutions. And I think the Boris issue may well solve the problem for the Conservative Party, but does it solve the problem for the nation? And does it really tackle the issues that people are facing today? I don't think it does.
David, you mentioned that Boris is really popular within the members. The trouble is, it's the members who are the problem, isn't it? You know, the members wanted Liz Truss. Liz Truss is not a successful, authoritative or credible leader. And, I mean, that might sound like an opinion. The fact of the matter is Jeremy Hunt stood up next to Liz Truss yesterday in the House of Commons and dismantled her piece by piece before her own eyes. The members got it wrong, didn't they?
No, I mean, I believe in democracy and party democracy, and the members are overruled. They didn't have a vote on Boris getting rid of him. It was all down to the MPs. The MPs have created this problem.
Yeah, but the MPs are elected by their constituents. That's parliamentary democracy.
But there's a gulf opening up between MPs and their members. I'm afraid they're not representing a lot of their member views. Liz Truss...
OK, so hang on, there's a difference, isn't there? Because the party leader obviously represents members. The Prime Minister represents the entire country. Yeah. How is the position of the Prime Minister in the hands of such a tiny number of people, a couple of 100,000 Conservative members?
Well, again, going back to the Boris point, you know, he won a fantastic, an 80-seat majority, the largest since 1987. He went to the public. No one else has gone to the public. That is a part of the issue. But, you know, Liz...
Should there have been a general election once Boris had gone?
No, I don't think so. I don't think the British public want yet more instability and change and sort of...
well, a poll for this programme shows that they do want a general election.
93% of people who voted in our Twitter poll said bring on a general election. That actually what they don't want is this.
This is now, of course, after the budget.
Yeah, I understand that. But I don't think, you know, it's yet more instability. We've got to stabilise the economic position.
Do you even know if Boris wants to come back? I mean, everything that we hear, sort of, you know, behind the scenes is he wants to stay in America and make a lot of money.
Well, he's doing very well. He's earned twice his prime ministerial salary in one speech of half an hour, apparently, in America.
So why on earth would he want to come back to this
because he wants to serve. I think Boris wants to serve. No one's asked him directly, but we have indications he may well be interested.
How would you make it happen, then? Just supposing this really did start to take shape, how would it unfold?
Well, under the constitution of the party, Conservative Party, the party board has almost unlimited powers, and whatever's in the interest of the Conservative Party. And you have to say, when you're getting minus 36 in the polls, the interest of the Conservative Party is, you know, if they get rid of Liz, then to bring back Boris, an election winner, proven election winner, who still has a lot of popularity.
If not Boris, who would you have if Liz Truss goes?
Well, I think, given the number of changes that have taken place, I think the polls, as you say, are quite right, that perhaps it is time to go to the public. Because, in fact...
But who would lead the party?
The Conservative Party.
Do you want Starmer as Prime Minister?
Well, me as Prime Minister would be a good idea.
Seriously, quickly, because we're out of time. Who would take over from Liz Truss, in your opinion? Or should?
Well, I think there are a number of candidates, and I think they should be given the opportunity
who would you
to
vote
step
for?
forward. I can't say who I would vote for, but...
Of course you can.
Bring back May? Is that what you want?
Well, bring back May. In fact, I think Theresa May, to my mind, was the last real British Prime Minister.
You're joking? She was useless.
She loved the country and she was absolutely committed to the role.
But she got the top because she couldn't do it.
It's not that she couldn't do it, but I think, as we all know, the Brexit issue was very divisive, and of course that led to her demise. But ultimately, she was a Prime Minister who was fully committed to the country, loved the country and really wanted to...
Well, so we've got a vote for Theresa May, we've got a vote for Boris Johnson.
It's Back to the Future, isn't it?
Has anyone got a vote for Liz Truss? Asking for a friend?
Her.
You did say that. You did say that.
I do support Liz, but as I say, if people push her out the way, then Boris has got to be the one, you know, and he is the election winner.
As you've said, you've absolutely said it yourself, that it's the MPs that voted him out. So I can't see how the arrangement you're suggesting will work when he's going right back to the same MPs that got rid of him.
Well, OK, listen, guys, we're out of time, I'm afraid. I have to say, live pictures are coming in from Downing Street. The Cabinet is beginning to assemble in Downing Street. I think we can see them coming up here.
Is it a bit like the Avengers assembling?